To be nimble, organization needs to make decisions in a timely fashion and at the right level in the business. I'm not talking here about big strategic decisions. These are few and far between. Instead, I'm referring to the thousands of smaller decisions that the organization makes throughout the year. Do an internet search on the phrase decision-making framework and you will get a plethora of options. Interestingly, the most popular frameworks, i.e. the ones that are going to be featured prominently on your search results, are not the best for nimbleness. Which one to pick then for agility? Let's start with a brief history of the three classic decision-making frameworks. The granddaddy is the RACI framework. It appeared in the 50s, but it's unclear who invented it. However, it's not really a decision-making framework per se. It's a tool for implementing, executing a decision. In the 80s, software company Intuit came up with a DACI model, which is both for decision-making and execution. Then in the dot-com era, the strategy consulting firm Bain & Co. trademarked its rapid framework, which is ideally suited for big strategic decisions as well as their execution. Over the years, a bunch of alternatives appeared for each of these three classic frameworks. The problem is that they tend to be quite complicated, which is not conducive to nimble day-to-day decision making. To start with, the acronym under which they are known are at least 4 letters and up to 7. That's too many letters. It's not easy to remember and it can be confusing as a result. Also, they are all incorporating an element of execution. Don't get me wrong, execution is absolutely critical. What is the point of making a decision if you don't implement it? However, by bridging decision making and execution, these frameworks complicate the matter. And when things are complicated, well, it goes against agility. If you keep going through your internet search and assuming that you look very carefully, you will eventually find a few mentions of a simpler alternative to the DACI model. It's mostly referred to as the DCI model. D stands for decision maker, C for consulted, I for informed. But sometimes instead of C for consulted, you will find A for advice givers. In that case, the framework is referred to as DAI, but it's the same thing as DCI. 3 characteristics make this less popular framework perfectly suited for day-to-day agile decision-making. First, it focuses squarely on decision-making. It doesn't try to tackle execution. Second, with only 3 letters, DCI or DAI, it is easy to remember. Third, the roles corresponding to each of these 3 letters are pretty straightforward. There is no confusion there. In other words, DCI, also known as DAI, doesn't try to boil the ocean, it's easy to remember, and it's clear and pragmatic. For agility's sake, give it a try.